Well, hello, morning hunter. You sleep well. If it's any comfort to you, Moga Village hasn't seen quakes in the same day yet. Knock on wood. But let's back up. Welcome, welcome. I'm the chief of this here little village. Nature provides Moga Village with everything we need. The woods and the sea are our castle, and it's a good one. As folks like to say, living here long enough builds sinew and character. But it's not all rainbows and sunshine. No, we've got our share of turbulence, and you can take that literally. You heard of Legiacrus? It's a foul, pernicious sea monster that just decided to move into the neighborhood. With a tyrant like that thrashing about, our hunting fleet be lucky to escape alive, let alone bring back a good haul. At least, we won't starve to death. All these blasted earthquakes will sink us first. So that's our other problem. You felt those tremors. Who knows what's causing them, why they started? But the sea's riled up, that I guarantee. Anyway, we're in over our heads. That's why you come in, kid. The way I see it, Moga Village needs a hunter. Yes, the Legiacrus is mighty, too powerful for any human to tangle with. The way the villagers talk, bah. Strong is one thing, but invincible is something else. Legiacrus may be big, but it still has to eat and rest. And one day, just like the rest of us, it has to die. If I was 30 years younger, I'd go clean its clock myself. But I'm only mortal too, so I'll leave the joy of taming the sea's deadliest foe to the younger generation. You. Speaking of youngins, did you and my son get to talk? Suppose not. The quake yesterday hit before you had the chance. I don't see Junior around. Well, couldn't have got far. Take a hike around the village. You'll find him. Oh, and I almost forgot. Here's our initial payment, Hunter. It's not much, but it's enough to get you started. Here we go. Moga Village Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate. I'm incredibly excited to get around to this game. Now, if you don't know, very briefly, I've been going through and playing all the generations of Monster Hunter games. So I've done the original on PS2, and then Unite for the second generation. But for the third generation, I have split this into two different games. The two that I feel like are required to really experience the third generation, even if there is overlap between monsters. The first of which I've completed at this point is Monster Hunter 3rd Portable. This was a Japanese-only release that has a current English translation by fans, and I played through that. I had originally imported the game, but that was my first playthrough with it in English, and I completed that game. Now, that game takes place in a different village compared to this one and has a different storyline, so even if it shares some monsters, there are differences there. But Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate, and I'll note that this is the Wii U version of the game. This version has a few different changes, it has some additional monsters, some different monsters, and it also includes underwater combat. Underwater combat hasn't really reoccurred throughout the series. It's Monster Hunter Tri and Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate are the two games that include it, and they're basically the same game, one's an upgraded version of the other, which is what we're playing here. So I'm pretty excited to go through. I haven't done the underwater combat in a while, but it's, I imagine, like riding a bike underwater, so it'll return to me. And otherwise, this is a game that I'm really excited to go through and play through with some upscaling. I'll note that on the original Wii U, I actually played an absurd amount of this game. One, I was one of the few people that actually had a Wii U. And then second, I've always been into Monster Hunter, so I was playing Tri, and then when 3 Ultimate came out, I played a lot of 3 Ultimate. But this game, the developers did some really amazing things to kind of allow folks like me returning to the game to have a really cool experience. So they didn't lock the frame rate in the game, which means it can go up to 60 naturally. So it's going to be a very visually impressive experience. And that's another difference from Monster Hunter 3rd Portable, in that, excuse me, this game does have, for the first time in Monster Hunter series, kind of like an actual graphics upgrade and overhaul. So if you look at 1, 2, 3 Portable, and you look at the Freedom series, they all kind of look the same. They're upgraded. There's graphics changes, there's animation upgrades throughout time, but for the most part, they all look similar. This one is kind of like the step between original OG Monster Hunter and the current new generation that we see with World and Rise. It's very much graphically in between these two options. But anyways, I'll stop introducing the thing and just play it. But just look how smooth that movement is. As someone who played the original, that's so noticeable to me, and it's just beautiful. All right. So you're the hunter I've been hearing about, eh? Got the look of one, you do. Me? I'm the greatest blacksmith alive. I hammer out all the equipment around these parts. Swords that'll slice you in half with a touch. Bowguns you could hit a grain of rice with. Armor to repel giant wyverns. I'll make anything provided you bring the materials. Gotta be equipped proper before you go venturing into the woods. By the way, our village does a brisk trade with the far-off port, Tanzia. Oh, you want to pay a visit to the port? Just hop aboard the ferry docked at the pier. Tanzia's quests will really test your mettle, but trust me, the rewards are worth it. Ask the feline standing there for permission to come aboard. He's a capable little fella, so let him handle the nautical particulars. I'm sure the folks at the port will be happy to see a face too. Swing on by whenever you got some time to kill. Hi, and welcome to Moga Village. You must be the new hunter everybody's yoking about, yakking. Nice to meet you. I'm your liaison to the Hunters Guild. I'll shake your hand, but you'd probably crush it, you brute. Just kidding. So basically, the guild puts food on your plate by hooking you up with jobs that we call quests. All you need is a guild liaison like yours truly, and in no time flat, work will pour in from all across the land. In theory. See, I heard you were coming and told them to have quests ready for you, and what did they send? Nothing. Zip. Nada. As you might have noticed on the trip over, Moga Village is pretty far from what you call civilization. Maybe the guild forgot about us. Maybe they fired me. Maybe I need to stop talking. Anyway, the guild counter is closed, so go say hello to the village chief and his son for now. Get settled in. Alright, we just gotta talk to all these essential people, but I know this village relatively well. Salutations, Hunter. You stand before Argosy Captain's finest crewman. They call me Tiger of Far East, Neko. Neko means tiger. Sort of. Neko performs important tasks like swabbing of poop decks and lifting of boxes. Very important work. Tiger must wear many stripes, you know? You meet Argosy Captain yet? He and Neko have same masculine way of speaking. Bakaru? I don't know how that's pronounced. I don't have any good Japanese pronunciation. Not me. Also, wear same style of clothing. He glow with coolness from afar, like a tiger of Far East. Argosy Captain trusts Neko with special Nimu here in Moga Village. Ninmu means assignment. Neko not the biggest of cheeses, so commodities and major trade goods still up to Captain. But Neko have equally important Ninmu. Neko in charge of delivering goods to Port Tanzio. You stand before linchpin of Moga Tanzia Marine Network. Network of life-altering importance. You want to go to Port Tanzio? Tanzia? Okay, so that's how I can go to the multiplayer mode. Cool. There's a solo port, a multi-port. All good to know. Neither of which we will be doing right this moment. Might need to change my shoulder buttons, but that's okay.
Hi.
Oh, you're the hunter folks going on about. Well, I run the fishery here, and don't you forget, you're lucky we didn't meet before. That last quake put me in a foul mood. I was up half the night cleaning up the mess. Not only that, but my boys in the hunting fleet were due home ages ago. They never take this long fishing. I'm sick with worry. If I didn't know they were made of steel and fire, I'd paddle out to sea myself to rescue them. Anyway, you come back later, once the fishery's back in business, alright? Alright. So there's a variety of, like every Monster Hunter game, there's a variety of things that you can do around the town. Sometimes it's a farm, sometimes it's fishing, sometimes it's sending out boats. Looks like there is the farm, so we can briefly go look at that. So not huge right now. There's this hidden area back here with who knows what that is. I know, I actually remember, but don't worry about it. That goes out to the woods if we need to. Well, if it isn't the hunter everyone's fussing over, well, whoop-de-doo. You see this here farm? It feeds all of Mocha Village. Now, notice anything missing? That's right, farmland. This place is normally crawling with farm and felines, all nya this and meow that. But that earthquake spooked them bad. They hightailed it out of here lickety-split. Fraidy cats left me high and dry. That's why the fields look like a pigsty. No offense, Sir Oinks-a-lot. I guess because the pig is here. I'm stuck working all by my lonesome. This here's what's left of the old harvest. See that blue sheen? It means this is one heck of a healthy mushroom. You can't eat it all on its own. My advice would be to combine it with something. Go on, take it and make something good. All right, blue mushroom. Okay, so excuse me, hunter person. If you want to get to the Moga Woods, just cross this bridge. You can get back the same way, so try not to figure out where the entrance is. We're supposed to ask permission before we go into the woods, but I'm not telling you what to do. There's an armory right there if you need equipment. I don't think you should go out dressed like me. Oh yeah, I have this stone I picked up when I heard a hunter was coming. You want it? Okay. Yeah, whetstone. Great. And the kid thinks we're nice. Now, there's going to be a few different options. I can't recall if I actually start with different equipment in this game, so... Hey, look at that, I do. So I can have a great sword right off the bat. Got the UI of this game looks so clean. Like, I came from Monster Hunter Portable 3rd, and I was upscaling everything. And I was, like, forcing higher textures and menus and stuff like that. But even that, it doesn't compare to just the cleanness of this. Very, very fun to move on through the generations of Monster Hunter. I remember being really impressed with this when it originally came out. And just, like, losing so much time. Welcome back, boss. I'm the steward of this chamber. So long as you are Moga Village's guest, I shall protect your things. A word of advice. Hunters who do not save their progress risk losing fortune and glory for their exploits. Do make a point to save regularly. Yeah, okay, so it's an item box. There's a lot of stuff in this room, but I am well aware of all of my stuff. So we can save really quickly. That's a good idea. Since I'll largely cut out the saving, granted that was really quick, so it's not really a big issue, but yeah, we'll do that, and then yeah, let's head back to the village center. Now, I guess to find the guy that we're looking for, we actually have to go out into the woods. So this is one of the first times that Monster Hunter has kind of given you a free roam option. It's only really this area outside of like gathering quests, but you can just kind of go out. And then as you go through the game, there'll be like forecasts of what's going to be in the area. Hey there, kid. Can you hear me? You know, you really ought to meet my son. He should be at the camp. My ancestors have a saying, wherever you go, there you are. You see the map on the screen there? The red triangle shows where you are. And the white icon that looks like a little hut, that's the base camp. Use the map to find your way to the base camp. Okay. And this is just telling you how the game works. So, yeah, if those, we'll see. I might change out some controls here, but largely this feels great. Before I forget, there's something I ought to tell you about dashing. Yes, okay, I know how stamina works. Okay. You know what? Ooh. Everything feels good there. Nice. And that lets me put stuff away. Great. Yeah, that's what I wanted. I'm not a big fan of using the front buttons. Let me teach you how to hunt with the gamepad. No, it's okay. I have everything put on this screen because I am not using a gamepad. My Wii U is the Legend of Zelda limited edition one. I have a lot of Legend of Zelda limited edition Nintendo stuff. I have a 3DS that's the same thing. Okay, so it's telling us this is a monster. You can kill it to get raw meat. This is an Aptonoth? I don't know. But we don't really actually... We don't need to mess with them. We could, but there's really no need. Like, I guess for the purposes of showing it off, we can. Because he's telling us to. Yeah, so it's like, hey, when you kill stuff in Monster Hunter, make sure to carve it. You always carry around a hunter's knife. I don't know, change that a little bit. Can I change the sensitivity in this game? Is that an option? No, that's okay. I'll adjust. Just a little fast from left to right. Oh well. Nice work. Seems you reached the camp in one piece. It's just a shadow of its former self because of all the earthquake damage. Well, if that ain't my son right in front of you, don't be shy. Go up to him and say hi. Hey man, how's it going? Oh, glad you dropped by. The old man send you for a tour of the Moga Woods. Sorry we couldn't talk more yesterday. Not that natural disasters make for chit-chat. Anyway, you probably know who's who by now, but I'm Junie. I'm the chief's son. What am I doing here, you might ask, standing among the rubble? Good question. Well, see, this is your base camp. Is? Okay, I'm still figuring that part out. I was on patrol, so I came by for a look-see. You're gonna need a hunting base, and this is where we left the tent and bocce set, so... But the quake really did this place in. We need to fix it up before you can hunt from here. I'll head back to the village and get the ball rolling, but first, you got anything I can munch on? I'm so hungry I could eat an apple off. Got any raw meats? Because I can barbecue like a champ. Me plus barbecue equals BFF. Oh, yes. Here you go. Here's some raw meat, man. Okay, so he's now gonna just let us know that we can go back to the village and we can continue our quest. His dad's like, hey man, I've telekinetically let you know that I'm happy that you gave my son some meat. All right. It's so weird having like no health again because I was playing Monster Hunter Portable 3rd for a while. That game has a spa mechanic where you can improve the hot spring and the drinks you can get so that it's pretty much always possible to walk into a fight with absolutely completely to the side of the screen health. You can kind of see Moga from a further perspective. That's the main village of the game. Yeah. Let's return to the village. Oh, thanks for the meat. I get woozy if I don't eat every couple of hours. Yeah, that's not unique to you. That's called being alive. You need sustenance. We're gonna get along. So I just finished figuring out all the materials we'll need to fix up the base camp. We need to dig new latrines, rebuild the tent, cover the old latrines, de-louse the bed. We need serious resources. Know what those are? You can increase our resources by hunting monsters in the Moga Woods or finding the right items. We villagers can't go very far into the woods. The monsters out there tend to love us for dinner. Yeah. But a hunter like you could hunt anywhere in those woods. No sweat, and you'd come back loaded with resources. Don't worry, we fixed the roads that got messed up by the quake. Go gather some resources in the woods, will ya? But don't go stumbling around at night. What you can't see can hurt you in those woods. Just stick to daytime hunting for now. Oh, I almost forgot. I have something here for you. Take this barbecue spit. I made it myself. Use it to roast the raw meat you carve. Nothing beats outdoor cooking. The thing's a cinch to use. Okay, great. So now we have a very open-ended start to the game. Where we kind of just get to go ahead and get resources however we want. There is no inherently right or wrong way. Ah, it's you getting by as far as weapons and armor goes. The darn chief asked me to tell you all about forging equipment. So listen good. Give him stuff and he makes it. That's all we need to know. As is, we don't really have anything. We shouldn't expect to. So let's just go out into the woods and wholesale fight everything we can find. Alright, so he's like, hey, the map's here. Go fight stuff. You can do things. There's carnivores in some places. Have fun. I have the hankering for just like being a monster hunter now. No, I know. There's herbs. It's great. I can use that. Lovely. The only downside of me having played so many Monster Hunter games and have spent so many times is like I reach a point in the introduction where I'm like, okay, let me just play now. Okay, goodbye. Thank you. Oh, I don't need to know about the monster list. It's a list of monsters. Pretty self-explanatory. This area is interesting to run through, though, because it's in Monster Hunter Portable 3rd as well, which we have seen And the area is similar. It's the same structure. It's the same rock placement. I think actually, like, I have to imagine large swaths of the code are the same. But yes, okay, kill stuff, get resources, cool. But the graphics are updated. It could just be that because it didn't expect to go onto a PSP, that it could give higher resolution textures and stuff like that, and that's simply the easiest fix. But there's more to this than just higher resolution textures. The frame rate is an element, and I think like the movement and stuff, it feels distinct. I'll say that much, and in a positive way. It's interesting to like feel the micro differences. Now we get a cutscene introducing our first carnivore. All right, so these are jaggy. They're nothing to worry about. The game Monster Hunter tends to do this thing where a lot of the monsters you'll meet at the start of the game are like the small version of the monsters that you'll fight as you progress. So these monsters are called Jaggy. There's a Great Jaggia, and there's a regular Jaggia. So there's a few different versions of this creature. I was thinking maybe find some bones or something, but nada. No bones for me. And is there anything interesting here in 7? There's some Kelby, which is what these deer are. I ultimately just needed 30 resources, though. So I feel like this works for me. Hey, looks like you found some herbs. Yes. Now, I'm a big fan of herbs. There's a few different things you can combine them with. But for me, I'll actually eat them straight. It's kind of, unless I'm in a very serious hunt, I'll kind of use my herbs first to just kind of chalk up on little bits of extra health that I need, and then I'll use potions. Then I'll use mega potions if I need to. Can I get like a full 10 stack of herbs here? Cool, why not? Save the money early game. Now, most of the map right now is blocked off by these rocks. Otherwise, I would actually go through every area on the map, and I would probably just fight everything to get ahead and get as many resources as I could. But we're somewhat on a railroad right now. Yes, I do have 30 points. I will come back. Because we haven't really unlocked the ability to actually, like, statically take on quests yet. We need to repair that camping site. And this return of resources is what lets us do that. All right. So, talking to the chief's son, we can, oh right, I have to, yeah, convert kills. Then I'll send this all to my item box, because I don't need it personally in my inventory, and then we complete this resource, or this request, fix up the camp. And I guess the old man was right, you hunters really are something. We'll take it from here, leave the fixing to us. Our lives in the village are tied to resources. I'll calculate the resources for everything you hunt in the woods. Once in a while, I come across valuable commodities while I'm tallying up your spoils. Trust me, if we do find a commodity or two, I'll be sure to hand them over to you. Keep showing them carnivores who's boss, and you can expect lots of resources and commodities in your future. Remember, you have to report your kills after you've hunted in the woods. I'm the one who keeps track of that stuff. One last thing, our Wyverian artisan was hunting for you. I hear he wants to talk to you about weapon upgrades. Go and see him at his anvil, will you? Old craftsmen like him deserve your respect. Alright, thanks, Hunter. And now he's like, alright, I'm gonna give him respect by just going through everything he has to say. Basically, if you have a weapon in Monster Hunter, you can upgrade it to kind of travel through a tree of possible progressions. Sometimes you'll have multiple different options for how the weapon is upgraded, and that'll change the end result and the ultimate version of the weapon that it becomes. So the same base weapon can become multiple different weapons. We have an iron greatsword right now. It takes iron ore to upgrade. We don't have any iron ore, so we'll just leave that be. And I have no doubt that you would have no trouble rounding up the resources we needed now that the camp is fixed. Oh, okay, I heard you need iron ore. Wyverians are always hard to please, but the guy's the worst of them. I've known him since I was a younger you. I tell ya, we've butted heads more times than the sky has stars. But there's no questioning his keen eye as an artisan. We'll just see what he makes of you. By the way, you remember seeing a brazier burning just outside the village? Well, you might want to have a closer look at it next time you go by. Trust me. Oh, and before I forget, I got a little something here for you, just to say thanks. Let's see now. Yes, okay. You're just saying random things. Cool. Cool. Okay, well, now that that's all the case, yeah, I don't think I can, nice job with that delivery. Think you finally get the hang of hunting in the woods? Sad as it is, I know you're not here to make the chit-chat. You want to know if I've got real work for you. Well, the guild says absolutely nothing. Good luck fixing up that base camp. Alright, so the base camp is fixed. Right? Maybe I just gotta go look at it. No, so after iron ore, right? Glad I don't have to worry about that chore anymore. It's good to be the chief. The area in Area 4 is a fine place to look for ore. Although I no longer need a pickaxe. No, I just have one. He gave me one. I just wasn't paying attention. Pardon my nosiness, kid, but you do have a pickaxe, right? Okay, so I do have one. But if I didn't, I'd be in a bad position. Good. There should be some iron ore somewhere in this here cave. Check every cranny and don't overlook the nooks. Cool. Yeah, that's like a feline cave. That's not what I'm looking for. Okay. A lot of information there. But you don't want to go back unless you get enough iron ore to actually get an upgrade. It was 5 pieces. So it would be a negative choice to get less than 5. Oh, hey, look, a Giggy. I will take some monster fluid right off the bat. No doubt that's going to be useful someday. Now, if you don't know about Monster Hunter, there's a bunch of different weapon types in the game. They all play different. It isn't like you do the same moves, but the weapon just looks slightly different. Each weapon type has a dramatically different play style, and kind of requires its own mastery. And I think that's why a lot of people who play Monster Hunter tend to have a main or their preferred option that they don't deviate from. For me, since I started playing Monster Hunter back with the very first game, I have just started playing with Greatsword and I have kept at it. So for me, I very rarely ever question changing Greatsword. I'm very comfortable with it. There's, you know, that, I don't know if it's called a parable or a definition, but it relates to mastery. Okay, what is this guy saying? Get resources, do stuff, live the life. Cool. Well, you know, mastery takes 10,000 hours, or so it says. For me, I have definitely spent 10,000 hours with a greatsword. I'm not saying I'm the best greatsword user that's ever graced Monster Hunter, but there's more or less not any challenge that I don't feel like with enough perseverance I can conquer with a greatsword. Which I feel like is a fairer definition. Such short loading time, love that. Okay, yeah, I know how to... Cool. Now we'll talk to this guy. Get our sword upgraded. Hey, the chief isn't there. Where is he? Yeah, I can't 100% remember what I'm forgetting right now, but I'm sure it's around here. It's just a game of kind of going in and out of the woods. I kind of remember that being the case. I'll go check out the camp really quick. Not a unattractive view though. Okay. So this clearly still isn't fixed up. Yeah, I think it's one of those things where, like, if you play a lot of Monster Hunter, you spend maybe, you know, 1% of your time around the introduction, if not less. Cool to have a torch. But it's a supply item, so it goes right back. Ha ha ha. All right, I'm not even gonna repeat that, child. Okay. Worth saving really quickly. Oh, my bad. Okay, so this is like the item store. They're like, yeah, I'm upset by everything that's happening too. And that's fine. All right. Yeah, now I'm just kind of like, what does the game want me to do? Maybe it added a new area and I need to go like have a terrifying encounter. Yes, okay. I'm meant to go explore something. I think. Yeah, we'll see. Nothing wrong with getting a little bit of practice in and getting used to the new camera angle. The issue isn't actually that it moves the way that it does. Is the issue that it starts like accelerating at the rate that it does. But as far as I can tell, yeah, that's not something I can change from here. Maybe from another place, but it's okay. It's just so dramatic, it like gives me whiplash. Like, oh my gosh. Cool. So I clearly can't go that way right now, so I think my intention is, yeah, just to bum around and fight some things. Presuming this is the path. Typically in Monster Hunter, I'm happy to be a little bit adventurous and like fight things that I maybe shouldn't be fighting. Get an early advantage. But it's not always viable. There's nothing advanced to fight right now, for example. So I guess I'll just redo what I'm doing and see if it makes a difference. I am very excited to start like chugging through this game. It's it already feels distinct in the system and the way the camera moves and the game feels. It's interesting. And I'm a pretty big fan of the performance hike. Like, that's awesome. I can feel it. Now, does it mean that my recording method is going to create these huge files? Yes. But that's okay. It's mostly because I try and capture as close to like lossless as I can, I guess is the way to phrase that. But lossless itself is like super huge files, so you can't realistically do that. So I try and get near lossless. And then it all gets rendered and stuff anyways. Okay. Well, that hunting didn't seem to make a difference. It is, I guess I'm confused. Oh, does this guy have villager requests? Oh, I'm just silly. Oh, okay, there we go. Okay, so now that he's happier, I can talk to other people. It's a bug net. Okay, thanks for the bug net, kid. Hey, I hear you went to see the artisan of the smithy. Took a shine to you, did he? Well, aren't you special? That old son of a gunner is usually pretty stubborn about accepting new folk. While you've been making chums, we've been working hard. The base camp repairs are coming right along, so sit tight. Oh, one other thing. The head farmer was looking for you. You meet him yet? He's another good old boy you'll want to see. The farm entrance is down and to the right of the bridge to the woods. Sure. You got any questions? Come see me whenever. Okay, so let's go to the farm. Veggies, veggies, veggies. Okay, so this person's like, hey, organic stuff. No, your name's fine, Chicory. Well, would you look at that? Oh, one of my farming felines grew a spine and has come back to working. Now we can get back to planting. The farm belongs to the village, but I can set aside some land for you, seeing as how you're protecting us and all. If you want us to grow some plants or mushrooms, bring them by and we'll take care of it while you're off questing. It's a cinch. All you gotta do is pick out the plants you'd like us to raise. If you're at the port and can't get back to the farm, just give your requests to Neko and he'll pass them along to us. Tell you what, since you're busy and all you can even ask of us is to grow several of the same plants in succession, while you're in the woods or on a quest, we can grow one plant. So order more and you don't have to come by as often. Keep bringing us useful plants like herbs or blue mushrooms and we'll raise them for you. Least we can do. Oh, and go say hi to the feline who just came back. Best not to be rude to the folks who will help you out. And if you can embolden more felines to get back to work, well, we'd be able to cultivate more crops at once. Alright, cool. We won't bother right this second because we don't have any dramatic cultivation needs, but it's good to do. Now, if ain't a story to tell the grandkids of all the pieces of ore out there, you managed to find some the old smith liked. You see, kid, that's a sign. Proof that you're a cut above the average hunter. You've got exceptional judgment. After all, why go out there and risk your neck if all you bring back is junk? Yep, I've got a good feeling about you, kid. Wouldn't be surprised if you solved our little earthquake mystery too. Anyway, Hunter, we'll have the base camp up and running before you can say jumpin' jaggy. So you just hang tight and... What? You'll get bored if you have to wait around for the repairs? You are more tenacious than a Kelby in heat. Alright, I got an idea. What separates the land monsters you've hunted so far from an aquatic menace like the Legiacrus? Gigatons of water, that's what. If you're going to take a sea monster on, you have literally got to get your feet wet. So listen up. Go on through Moga Woods till you hit the shore. Dive in and try hunting some fish. Start small, see? Junior's a real pro when it comes to swimming. I'll have him give you some tips. Okay, now we get to see a little bit of what underwater combat looks like. Okay, this guy's like, hey, you're gonna go, you need to breathe. Don't forget about that. That's like literally what he's telling you. You're gonna have oxygen when you're underwater. If it empties, you die. Just like in normal life. So now we have most of the actual area, which is awesome. We can go a different way, right? We can go up through 10, but we're not going to go through that. We're going to go from 8 and then jump down into 11. Ooh, such an aggressive camera. Hey, might as well kill these guys. Kind of like, you know, why not? We don't have any resources right now, so getting the base resources converted from kills is not a bad place to start. There will come a point where we need more specific things for those requests than just resources, but I think it's fair to say that resources will always be a base requirement for a lot of them. So we'll jump down the right side, and now we end up in 11. See that fish with the long, flat body? Can't miss it, right? That's a mullet, your quarry for this hunt. Lucky for you, it's not a fast swimmer. Just get up close and take it down. We can fish with your weapon, but I suggest using a fishing harpoon. Then you can carve materials from it. All right. Yosh. Okay, now he's gonna tell us how swimming works. But it's pretty intuitive. So I'm just gonna swim. Yeah, there we go. Now you can just spear fish. And looks, we can just return to the village with the press of a button. Love that. And yeah, it's just like, hey, don't drown. Now, there's lots of things you can do about drowning. Your character... You play a character that, in general, hunters are like... There's a few debates in the lore of what a hunter is and how they have the capabilities that they do. They obviously can hold their breath for a tremendous amount of time. They can wield weapons the size of their body and made of metal, likely heavier than them. They can survive falls from great heights. As far as we can tell, hunters are humans. Although there is, you know, fan theories that there is Wyverian DNA in the hunters. And then there's theories that humanity just has the potential to push themselves further in this universe. We don't really know. Hey, Hunter, you seem to be doing pretty well for yourself, eh? Now you're working for the Hunters Guild. That ought to heat things up for you. Anyway, I thought I'd give you a little something. You bring me all that fine ore after all. This here's an armor sphere. You can use it to upgrade your armor, and it increases the defense. Very useful. Worth saving for good armor. Good job hunting that fish. You take to swimming like you have gills, but don't forget what you learned. Oh, I nearly forgot. I hear that sweetheart from the guild has a message for you. Oh, you know what? Let's convert those gills. Cool. Oh, well, look who's back. Yes, fishing went well. You can move when you're fishing. Okay. And he gave me some money. That's my favorite hunter. Guess who just got into contact with me? I heard from the Hunters Guild. Now, where did I put that piece of paper? Here it is. Your very first quest. Completing it will cause both your skill and your reputation to skyrocket, in theory. The only quest I've got for you so far is to collect a bunch of mushrooms. You don't think it is possible? Do they not trust us at all? Oh well, grippity gripe. Let's just show them we can get the job done. By we, I mean you. FYI, when you're on a guild quest, you can't get back to the village the usual way. You have to return to the base camp. Also, you're not allowed to go back into your house once you've got a quest. If you want in, talk to me. Okay. So, we have level 1 quests here. We need to deliver 3 unique mushrooms. I think this is a way out too, right? Yeah. Little introduction cutscene there. This is our hunting tent and base. So this person's just telling us how quests work. I have done a quest or 2. You know what? Let's try this option here. I don't know what angle I prefer. I think this is it. We'll see if that's what I like. We'll try a few options. Oh, okay. Yes, there's a thing. You can do quests. There's time. Okay, so yeah, every quest in Monster Hunter generally takes 50 minutes. There are some special quests that are shorter, but generally speaking, 50 minutes for a hunt. Very rarely does a hunt actually ever take 50 minutes. As a rule of thumb, it's okay if it does, but it's kind of an indicator that maybe you need to refine the weapon you're using, the technique you're using, the approach. Maybe you need better armor. Because you generally want to shoot for between, if you're not speed running, you're not doing any crazy meta stuff, between 5 to 25 minutes. Depending on the monster, where you're at, the game, the rank, your equipment, your skill, your DPS output, all that stuff. 5 to 25 minutes is a more reasonable number, in my opinion. But we all have our own preferences, too. We needed 3, now I have 3. Let's return to the base camp. I didn't grab a map, but I'll do that as a proof of concept in a moment here. Okay. So yeah, here you go. At the start of every quest, especially village quests at the start of the game, you can come here and you can grab a bunch of stuff. It goes back at the end of the quest for the most part, but it's always nice to grab stuff, especially before like a big hunt. The red box is where you can deliver stuff. And that's what I just did. I delivered those 3 unique mushrooms that we collected. And now the quest is going to count down in kind of like a final conclusion. And from there, we end. It doesn't matter where we are when it ends. It'll pick us up and drag us right on out of here. Quest complete. Now, I don't need anything in my inventory, so I'm just going to send it all to my item box and start building up and accumulating stuff. Here we are. Such a quick load time. I love that. My little brother and I are having a fishing contest. The first one to catch a legendary golden fish is the winner. All I have to do is mix my special firefly bait with something, and then I'll have the best bait ever. Okay, so yeah, as you kind of progress, there's like villagers will ask different things of you, and you can get them stuff. Okay, this guy's also having a fishing contest. And they're telling you where you can get things. Good job with the mushroom hunting. What do you think of the guild rules? Annoying much? I know. Hunters all over the world struggle to fill strict requests, while both monsters and rules work against them. The slowly approaching time limit. You collapse 3 measly times, and you're deemed too weak. Cruel. I know. The thing is, the whole reason people look up to hunters is because you're supposed to be able to take whatever they throw at you. No pressure or anything. Oh, would you look at the time? It's 1/2 new quest. We've got a bunch of jobs for you this time. You can do them in whatever order you like, but if it were up to me, I'd do the Jagia hunt. But don't get cocky. Bring plenty of potions, whetstones, and ammo if you use a bowgun. You could also use the Monster Guts one. It's mostly underwater, so you could go to the beach, work on your tan. All quests are special in their own way. Make sure to prep before you go, and you won't have any problems. Good luck. There we go. So now we're at a point where we have unlocked the rest of the initial quests. But since that's the introduction, we're pretty much set. I'm gonna say this is the very first episode of Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate. Thanks very much for checking it out. I'm super pumped for this series, and I'm gonna keep on giving her. It's like the 4th Monster Hunter game I've played on this channel, so if in between this episodes as they're coming out, you want to watch some other Monster Hunter, tons of other stuff there. Otherwise, hope you have a good one, and see you around next time. Bye.